Good afternoon, honorable colleagues. Good afternoon, our permanent witnesses. Good afternoon, Chitambo Council. You are welcome to your committee. My name is Elliot Kamundo. I'm Member of Parliament from Fumbwe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, witness. Council Secretary, our desire or belief this afternoon is that we're going to have the shortest meeting with you, looking at the volume of your, but at times you have seen people that have small bodies, but they can finish a big lump of Mishima. We might have heavy issues when you have a thin report like this. May I invite you, sir, to now make your submission before your committee.
Thank you so much, Chair. It is indeed our desire that we can have a short meeting as you've guided. Chair, I'm here to make submissions on the Memorandum of Responses to the Auditor General's report on the CDF account for the year ended the 1st December 2023. And Chair, before I begin, allow me to seek leave of your high office to submit into evidence. There's some documents that were submitted to the Secretariat. With your permission, sir, they could be circulated as part of our evidence. Secondly, Chair, we have two reports.
Accepted.
Thank you. Grateful, Chair. Secondly, we have two reports. The big one is evidence, and then the small one, as you've alluded to, is the main report. Chair, without much ado, allow me to proceed to submit to this honorable committee. The first query, Chair, is to do with empowerment grants, failure to implement approved project. The cause of query, management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observations and wish to submit that the cause of query was due to the change in project without seeking approval of the Constituency Development Committee at the time of audit. The action taken, Chair, management wished to state that the two groups had applied for change of project as follows: Chalilo multipurpose from gardening to chicken rearing, and Katonga Women's Club from village banking to farming. And wish to state that the projects, Chair, have since been implemented as evidenced on pages 1 to 1.1 to 1.6 in the big bundle of documents, Appendix 1. Remedial measures, Chair, management wish to ensure continuous sensitization meetings and financial literacy trainings are done before and during the implementation of projects. And furthermore, we want to assure you, Chair, that there will be constant monitoring by the substructures and will be enhanced to ensure adherence to project scope. Second item, Chair, is budget fund expenditure on page 4. And the cause of query, Chair, management wish to acknowledge the auditor's findings and wish to report that the retained funds were intended for construction of chief's palaces and insurance of motor vehicles. The balance on the funding and expenditure are funds reserved for CDF program but were ongoing at the end of the year 2023. The action taken, Chair, management wish to report that confirmatory letter from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development is attached to show the purpose of funds retained at source. This is on pages 2.1 to 2.3 of Appendix 2 in the big bundle of documents. Remedial measures, Chair, management to ensure that CDF programs are executed as guided by government. The next query, Chair, is retained costs on page 1, Appendix 1.1. The next cause of query, Chair, is management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation and wish to report that the funds retained at source were utilized. I think that's a repetition, as it were. And I would like to reproduce my submission as I did earlier. Yes. Chair, I move on to page 5, total unspent funds. The cause of query, management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observations on the unspent funds and wish to submit that the total unspent funds is at 31st December 2023 was 28,701,576 kwacha 15 ngwe, as per bank statements on appendices 4, pages 4.1 and 4.2. And the interest was earned on the main and revolving bank account. In addition, the funds that were not spent at the end of the year were held for ongoing CDF programs that were still being implemented at the time of audit. The action taken, Chair, management wished to state that out of the balance of 28,701,576 kwacha 50 ngwe, a total sum of 23,906,237 kwacha 33 ngwe has since been spent on various CDF programs and projects. The ledgers are on pages 4.3 to 4.7, Chair, on Appendix 4. The 422,802 interest that was earned was sent to government as shown on pages 4.8 on Appendix 4, and leaving a balance of 4,372,538 kwacha 67 ingwe, which is committed as shown in the summary table on page 6, Chair. That's a table which has been produced to show the commitment of the funds. I move on, Chair, to the next cause of query, which is 2.1. That is on unspent funds for community projects. The cause of query, Chair, management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observations on the funds for community projects and hereby submit that the cause of query was due to the funds that were not spent as they were held for ongoing CDF projects and that are still being implemented at the time of audit. The action taken, management wish to state that out of the balance of the 12,910,269, a total sum of 9,213,892 has been spent on CDF projects, leaving a balance of 3,696,377 for ongoing projects. And the evidence, Chair, is on Appendix 5, page 5.1. The next cause of query, Chair, is community projects during the period 1st January 2024 to March 2025. Yeah, I think that amount has been dealt with. Yes.
Come to Appendix 2.2.
2.2. Much obliged, Chair. Empowerment grants. The cause of query, management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation and hereby submit that the cause of query was due to 20 clubs who had not been paid at the time of audit because they are not yet undergone financial literacy. The action taken, Chair, management wish to state that a total sum of 776,106 has been paid out, and the evidence of the report, the expenditure, is on Appendix 4, page 4.5. Chair, remedial measure. In order to achieve timely utilization of funds, Council will ensure that invitation to receive applications of CDF grants starts in the first quarter of the preceding year and conclude the process by December of the current year for implementation only. Next query, Chair, is 2.3, unspent funds under empowerment grants. Cause of query, management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation and hereby submit that the cause of query was due to the, this is a repetition. It is. Chair, this query is being repeated, and I will submit what I earlier on submitted as true. I move on, Chair, to page 9. The cause of query is on secondary boarding and skills development bursaries. Management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation and hereby submit that the cause of query was due to the low turnout on skills and secondary bursaries applications. Action taken, management wish to state that the total sum of 4,503,517,000 has been spent on CDF approved bursaries, leaving a balance of 676,162, which is also committed for the 2025 returning students. The evidence of the reported expenditure is given on Appendix 4, pages 4.5 and 4.6. Move on, Chair. Remedial measure in order to achieve timely utilization. We repeat the submission earlier, Chair, that will start in earnest and ensure that the process is concluded quickly. The next cause of query is unspent funds, administrative costs. The cause of query, Chair, management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation and hereby submit that the cause of query was due to the funds that were not spent as a result for administrative expenditure when implementing CDF projects and the programs that were still outstanding for various categories at the time of audit. Action taken, management wish to state that the total sum of 1,165,156 has since been spent on administrative costs, and the evidence of the reported expenditure is given in Appendix 4, pages 4.6 to 4.7. Remedial measures, Chair, in order to achieve timely utilization of CDF, the committee resolved to commencing the invitation for submissions early so that by the end of the year we conclude. I move to page 11, Chair. The next cause of query is on community projects. Cause of query, management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation and we hereby submit that the cause of query was due to 2022 projects, which is a Funda culvert, which was delayed due to change of site that resulted in the need for additional funding. Action taken, management wish to state that the project has now been completed, Chair, and handed over to the community. The completion certificate and pictures to show completed project are available and given in Appendix 6 from pages 6.1 to 6.6. Remedial measures. In order to achieve timely completion, Chair, we repeat what we had earlier said, that we'll start in earnest and conclude by December. The next query, Chair, is on community projects. Management wish to acknowledge auditor's observation on implementation of 11 community projects and hereby submit the cause of query was due to lengthy approval and procurement processes that led to delayed commencement. Action taken, Chair, management wish to submit that 10 projects have been completed and the completion and handover certificates as well as pictures are given in Appendix 7. Remedial measures, Chair, we repeat the submission in the preceding paragraph. Next cause of query, Chair, is analysis of performance, youth, women and community grants. Cause of query, management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation and hereby submit that the cause of query was due to 20 clubs who had not been paid at the time of audit because they had not yet undergone literacy training in finance. The action taken, Chair, management wish to state that the 100% disbursement of these grants has now been achieved and the evidence is on Appendix 4, page 4.5. Remedial measures, we wish to repeat the submission in the earlier paragraph, Chair, that we start early and conclude by December. Appendix 8, performance analysis on soft loans. Cause of query, Chair, management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observation on loans and hereby submit that the cause of query was due to the low turnout of loan applications. Action taken, management wish to state that the unspent funds for both CDF 2022 and 2023 loans amounting to 3,107,808 were varied to community projects. The evidence is given on Appendix 8, pages 8.1 to 8.5. Remedial measures, Chair, in order to avoid similar queries, stakeholder sensitizations will continue to be done in all wards of the district and further management to ensure that the invitation of applicants for loans starts in the first quarter of the preceding year and conclude by December of the current year. The next query, Chair, is failure to recover loans, and the cause of query, management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observations on loan recoveries and hereby submit that the cause of query was due to non-compliance by loan beneficiaries. Action taken, management wish to state that a total of 470,818 has been recovered. aggregated into interest payment of 31,746 and the principal repayment of 439,072 kwacha, and done under the umbrella of Indo-Zambia Bank. The evidence, Chair, is in Appendix 9, pages 9.1 to 9.16. Remedial measures in order to avoid similar occurrences, Chair. Stakeholder sensitization will continue to be done in all wards of the district, and further management will ensure that engagement meetings continue to be held with loan beneficiaries, and legal enforcements will now continue to also be made. I move to number 10, Chair, which is secondary boarding skills development bursaries. The cause of query: management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observations and hereby wish to submit that the cause of query was due to the low response from the community within Chitambo district, Chitambo constituency. Further, the difference between the number of applicants and the sponsored represents the unsuccessful beneficiaries who could not meet the eligibility criteria. Additionally, few graduates were recorded at the time of audit because the training was still ongoing, Chair. Action taken: management wish to state that the total number of 456 beneficiaries sponsored, segregated into 316 for skills and 140 for secondary schools. 152 graduates have been recorded on skills and 46 on secondary schools, giving a total of 198 graduates as shown in the table next year. The evidence is on Appendix 10, pages 10.1 to 10.34. Remedial measures in order to achieve timely utilization of funds. The Council will ensure that invitations to receive applications will start early as earlier on submitted, Chair. The last but not the least query, Chair, is analysis of performance of desks. The cause of query: management wish to acknowledge the auditor's observations and hereby wish to submit that the cause of query was due to the delayed delivery of desks by the suppliers. However, Chair, we wish to indicate that a total number of 831 complete desks were delivered as at 31st December 2023, with a lot more still undergoing production. Action taken: management, Chair, wish to state that the 3,256 desks have since been delivered, while the balance of 350 are under production. Further, the contract for Brickwood Enterprises was terminated due to underperformance, and a new supplier identified and engaged to meet the deficit. The matter, Chair, was also reported to ZPPA for necessary sanctions and further actions against this contractor. And the evidence is in the appendage. Remedial measures, Chair, in order to ensure timely delivery of projects and avoid a recurrence. The Council will ensure that contractors who fail to deliver are reported to ZPPA for necessary action. This will also help increase a sense of responsibility in the contractors and suppliers. Chair, I wish to most fervently express our gratitude for the opportunity, and I wish to submit my report for guidance and deliberation. Thank you so much, Chair.
Before I invite members to ask questions, let me invite Dr. General to take us to page 5.
Thank you, Chair. We go to page 5 of the submission. There's Appendix 2, total unspent funds. There's a table there on top. According to the Auditor General's report, the unspent fund, if we look at the column which is saying balance as at 31st December 2023, we had put 32 million, but I wish to confirm that the reconciled one, we should stick to the 28 million kwacha, which has been submitted by the witness. I submit.
Thank you very much. Okay, Honorable Amutero and then Honorable Munza.
Chair, page 11.
Page 11, witness. Let's go to page
Page
11.
11, witness,
Oh,
community projects, appendix 4, 2023. To start with, when you look at the table, Chair, is saying approved projects 12, implemented 1, work in progress 10, outstanding 1.
That's on page what?
11.
11, okay.
Then management wishes to acknowledge. And then the management goes to say implemented 11. But in the table, 1. So I just want them to reconcile the table and what has been written, so that our secretariat will do a thorough job.
Thank you. Council Secretary?
Chair,
Okay.
then management wishes to submit 10 projects have been completed, and even completion they have now directed us to appendix 7. I've gone to appendix 7. Some, yes, completed. Interest number 1. Procurement of mattresses and beds. I don't know how many mattresses, how many beds, and where they have taken them. The information is not there, but they are telling us, no, it's done. Procurement of desks, completed. But here they are saying they've just done 3,256. And if you go there, you will see pictures where they have taken them, no one knows. But they have said, no, we have procured and delivered. To where? Other than just the pictures you have given us. Maybe, Chair, we start from there.
Thank you.
On number 11, they are saying, no, this one is the one which is work in progress. And we have written to the contractor. The letter they have written to that contractor, they are keeping it themselves. Maybe it has remained in Chitambo. Here, it's not there. CS.
Council Secretary?
Much obliged, Chair. Honorable Mtelo has given a loaded question. We will try and unbundle it. The first question was on the table under Appendix 4, where he is asking us to reconcile the approved projects versus the implemented and work in progress and outstanding. So perhaps there, Chair, we could seek your indulgence on where the actual question was, because we are talking of 11 projects. Is it the confusion with the 12 approved, or he's guiding that there should be 11? I just seek maybe clarification.
He's saying what you read and what is on the table are different, right?
May I repeat,
Yes,
Chair?
please come.
Thank you, Chair.
On the tables, yes. Approved, how many?
12.
12. Implemented, how many?
1.
In your response, implemented, how many?
11.
Yes. So what should we take?
Okay.
That's the question. Then work in progress. Are you there, or so that I will not repeat? Work in progress, how many? CS? Check. Work in progress, how many? 10. But here you are saying work in progress 1. Outstanding 1. Of course, there is one unanswered question here. You approved 12. Where is the 12th one?
Council Secretary.
Chair, I'm grateful. I've just been having a tete-a-tete with my Director Engineering regarding the reconciliation.
What's that?
I've been having a little conversation with my Director of Engineering regarding the reconciliation of the numbers. But before I invite him to add context, Chair, this is as was captured by the Auditor General's office on the management response. We mentioned the 11 community projects, which I'll ask the Director of Engineering to now speak to and add context to them. Director, with your leave, Chair.
Director of Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. So, Chair, if we look at Appendix 4, the table, which is showing approved projects, 12. So at the time of audit, only one project had been completed. Then we had 10 that were outstanding. Then we had one which had not yet commenced. So as it stands, 10 projects have been completed as at today. Then the one which was outstanding has also commenced. Then we have desks, which we have delivered that number we have provided in the list of projects that we have attached in Appendix 7.1, page 7.1 rather.
Okay, so can you take us to the appendix? We see those 11 projects that have been implemented, 10 projects that have been implemented.
So, Chair, it's Appendix 7.
Yes.
And then page 7.1.
7.1.
So we have attached completion certificates there.
On 7.1.
So we have
just go through those projects.
Okay.
Read those projects.
So, Chair, the projects are: number 1, construction of 1x2 CRB at Monsampango. This project has been completed and handed over.
Okay.
Then we have the completion certificate has been attached, and also
just read the projects you want to see first.
Chair, I first read all the projects?
Yes.
Okay. So, Chair, the projects are construction of 1x2 classroom block at Monsampango. Then we have construction of 1x3 CRB at Mukando Primary School. We have construction of 1x2 CRB and staff house at Basemo Primary School.
Chair, with your indulgence, I would love them to be even reading the action taken so that...
yes.
Yes, sir.
Is guided.
Yes, Chair.
Engineer,
okay.
Yes.
I'll start. Construction at Monsampango. The council has completed and handed over the project. Construction of 1x3 CRB at Mukando Primary School. Okay. Okay, Chair, I've been guided by CS that I also show you the completion certificate.
No, maybe let's go through the projects, then you show us them. Because I think let me chair the meeting and give you guidance. So read the project name, the action taken. Then we will look at the project. We will look at the certificates.
Noted, Chair. Yes. So, construction of 1x2 CRB at Monsampango. The project has been completed and handed over. Construction of 1x3 CRB at Mukando Primary School. The project has been completed and handed over. Construction of 1x2 CRB and staff house at Masemo Primary School. It has been completed. Construction of new waterborne toilets with solar-powered water reticulator system at Kafinda Health Post. This one has been completed and handed over. Construction of a new waterborne toilets with solar-powered water reticulation at Chalilo. It has been completed and handed over. Procurement of motor grader, it was procured and commissioned. Procurement of tipper truck, it was procured and commissioned. Procurement of 5,000 school desks, the council has delivered 3,256 desks. Procurement of police vehicle, the ministry procured and commissioned the vehicle. Procurement of mattresses and beds in maternity wing at Kafinda Health Post. The council procured and delivered the mattresses. Construction of laboratory at Chitambo Mission Hospital. The council has made progress of 80% on the project and has since written to the contractor to complete the remaining works by end of April 2025.
Chair, that's where my questions are now coming from. Number 1, the very number 11. Where is number 2? The delivered mattresses and beds, even in here, where are they? Where have they been delivered to? How many are they? The procurement of desks, they have said they have done 11, 10 done, completed, but now they are admitting to say out of 5,000, it's only 3,256. Is that completion?
Switch off your mic. Director Engineering, is it the engineer that is leading us? Council Secretary?
Yes, Chair, thank you. As regards the follow-up question by Honorable Mtelo, even as Director of Engineering and the Procurement Officer looking at the other documents, Chair, allow me to just make a blanket statement that regarding these 11 projects, we have a combination of completion certificates, good received notes, and delivery notes. So if we go to page 7.21, under appendix, this is appendix 7, 7.21, Chair, you will see that there's a supply voucher there, which shows the items that have been delivered and supplied. We move further to 7.22 and up to 7.33. So this speaks, Chair, to the query regarding the mattresses and beds at Mafinda. That is number 10. Moving to the other, I'm sure by now, procurement officer, you found your way around it.
Just there.
Then guide us on the other.
Just there, CS 7.2. CS 7.2. What is on 7.2?
Chair, these are goods received note, a GRN.
Because 7.2, me, I'm reading certificate of completion of works. So if you had your own 7.2 in your own and forgot to put it here, it's not here. You see, Chair is now saying, okay.
Chair, it's it's the school. You know, maybe the school I went to, I should have been taught that 7.2 is different from 7.20. So let's move to 7.20. I'm sorry, Chair, and I apologize to the Honorable Member of Parliament.
Okay.
That shows now the delivery notes.
Good. I've found 7.20. Are you able to read? CS?
CS, do you have a more clear document?
Are you able to read?
I do have, Chair. Goods received not. The contractor is Sanjeevan Pharmaceuticals Limited. Do you want me to read the whole?
No, who was receiving? Is it the council? Because you have delivered where?
Okay.
Secretary, who was the recipient on this? Procurement officer, help us. Procurement, who received those goods?
Thank you, Chair. The goods were received by the clinic, Kafinda Health Post.
Kafinda Health Post.
Kafinda, yes.
We can't see the... Do you have a clear document that is very clear? Because this one is faint. Can't see any.
Chair, unfortunately, my copy is also not very clear.
Chair, if we move to 7.21, the very next page, we have the recipient there as Nambile, and it was received on the 2nd of October 2024. Thank you.
So you're able to read that, yes? It was received by who?
It was received by Nambile. Chair, I do admit that maybe the scribbling could have been a bit more legible. It's a handwriting. The name reads Nambile C, and there's a signature and a date. And of course, Chair, there's a stamp there to certify that this is an official document.
Quite clear, Chair. So what was received? How many mattresses? How many beds? Since you have the document which you are able to read properly.
So how many mattresses were received, sir?
Thank you, Chair. According to the document that we have adduced as evidence, the quantity ordered was 2, quantity supplied was 2, and the total was 2 for Kafinda Health Center, Chair.
It was what? 200?
02.
02?
Yes, these were the beds,
Okay.
complete with mattresses, because these are for a health center, and they are of a certain type, because they need to be mobile, and they need to be able to rotate.
Do you have pictures of those? Of the same? Those beds?
Yeah, I must admit we have not attached the pictures. We relied heavily on the delivery note and submit.
Okay, Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. We go to take a committee to page 10 of the...
Page 10?
Yes.
Witness, let's go to page 10 of your report.
Page 10. This is utilization of administration costs. Council Chair, according to the table on page 10, had unspent funds, unspent as at 31st December 2023, of 1,165,156, which is the administration component. And then total spent by January 2024 to 10th March 2025 is 1,165,156. Complete unspent as at 10th March 2024, it was 0, meaning the whole administration component was exhausted. When we are referred to Appendix 4, 4.6 and 4.7. So we go to Appendix 4, you see the ledger on how this administration cost was spent. If you go to Appendix 4, you see at the bottom of the page there's 4.6, then there's 4.7, showing the ledger for the administration cost. the questions. According to the ledger, it shows expenditure from 8th January 2024 to 28th May 2024. In 4 months' time, Council spent 1,166,620 Tovungwe, which is above the unspent funds as at 31st December 2023 earmarked for this administration component. The overrun is 1,464 and Tovungwe. The administration cost was overspent by 1,464. Why did the council overshoot by 1,464? And what is the source for this budget overrun? The second question is this: we're dealing with the 2023 financial year, January to December 2023, but your administration costs are being spent in 2025, as confirmed by the ledger on page 4.6 and page 4.7. Was there any monitoring, project monitoring activities happening in 2023? If so, what was the source of funds? Then, Chair, the whole administration component was spent by 5th of May, which means towards the end of the year for 2024, there was completely nothing. How was the council conducting monitoring, project monitoring activities in terms of logistics when the account was completely zero? And on page 4.7, of the ledger, I see an expenditure item on the second row on page 4.7 of the appendix 4 is emptying of pit latrine at Mukando market, an expenditure of 15,300 kwacha. This expenditure, the emptying of a pit latrine, was paid to a contractor, Chisumani General Dealers, and this expenditure was recorded under administration costs, expenses. Is the maintenance or operations of pit latrines, the cost, should it fall under administration costs? Or, I mean, explain why this is not a misapplication of funds.
Thank you.
For now, thank you.
Thank you very much. Council Honorable Simombon, the same. Okay. Council Secretary, those two.
Yeah, much obliged, Chair. I will be inviting my Director of Finance at some point to answer some of the questions that were posed. But let me start with the last one regarding the emptying of the pit latrine at Mukando. Chair, the categories to which funds are spent include community, youth empowerment, youth and women, and this is one of the projects. It's the only market we have at the junction, and it has got high volumes of traffic, and it was felt that, I think, ideally, instead of denying community projects that are supposed to see funding in order to foster development, the administrative component where we spend things like fuels, we felt that that would be ideal to spend on that vote rather than get the funds from community projects or indeed empowerment grants which are going to transform lives and empower people. And that was how that amount was spent. Chair, the Honorable asked some other questions which I would ask my Director of Finance to also add context to. DF.
Director of Finance?
Thank you, Chair. Regarding the expenditure...
Just put the mic towards yourself. No, just the way it is like this, then you just put it down. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Regarding the expenditure on administrative, in 2023, we did not do much in terms of project implementation, and that's why the administrative component was not utilized in that particular year. Much of it was spent in 2024. Then regarding the question as to why the administrative component continued to be spent in 2025, Chair, as seen from the project implementation, we still had some projects that were being implemented in 2025 from 2023. So part of the administrative component was spent to do the monitoring even in 2025.
The question was, there was budget overrun there.
Yes, regarding the budget overrun of 1.464, Chair, this was a combination of a part of the 2024 in terms of the implementation of administrative, because there's in certain times when doing the monitoring, we combine the monitoring for the 2023 projects as well as the 2024. So basically that overrun came from the 2024 allocation.
So the question or the query that you received is 2023. So why did you combine it with 2024 when you are supposed to only to answer to this query? Because this query is tied to 2023.
Yeah, Chair, we truly stand guided, and by your observation, Chair, we will accordingly have to amend the record as it were. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, you should, because basically when you asked about 2023, it's another query actually as to why you would start responding to 2024, which the auditors have not come through to check. Honorable Sumombe, as I wind up.
Thank you, Chair. My question is on page 4. Page 4, Chair. Just the first.
On the report, eh?
Yes.
Page 4.
Yeah, page 4. Just on the first management response on the first cause of the query, and the local authority is saying that management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wishes to report that the retained funds were intended for the construction of Chief's Palace. Chair, I don't know what happened in other jurisdictions, but based on my jurisdiction was that the money for the Chief's Palaces were deducted at source. So just help me understand, where was this money sitting? Are you saying it was sitting in your account, or it was sitting at the Ministry of Headquarters? Because that's where the money was, it was deducted at source.
Thank you. Council Secretary.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, and I want to entirely agree with Dr. Slombe. That is actually the position. This money was deducted at source, and later on in the year we were instructed to be the contract managers, and this is a contract that is being implemented by the Office of the Correctional Facilities, the Correctional Services of Zambia. Yes, so indeed, as he has pointed out, this fund sits at the center and not necessarily with our account.
Dr. Manza.
Page Appendix 4, page 4.28.
Is it in the appendix or the main report?
It is in the appendix. Appendix 4.
4.
It is referring to the payments towards the road project. So, appendix 4.28.
4.28.
I just want to, I'm just curious on the standards of the accounting standards on 4.28 that have seemed to be consistent, where you raise a transfer of fund request and a payment voucher is issued to a contractor before funds are transferred. Example, this is just one of the examples, 4.28.
I'm failing to get that.
Appendix 4.
28.
Yeah, on the
This,
appendix.
this is Appendix 4,
Appendix 4, yes. So there's a...
or
there's
page
a-
28.
Yes, there's a... Just
Oh,
at the
yeah.
bottom there, page numbers.
Okay. Yes.
So, this one is a transfer of funds, 117,556. Kind of transfer funds amounting to this amount from our account, and this request was made on 21st August 2024. The account name, front page, construction services. For the purpose of the said amount, the purpose of the said amount is for the construction of road. I can't read this. What does it? My eyes are too small. I cannot.
Where, sir?
What? No, the name. The name of the road.
We have funny names, the chair. It's actually Machende Gibson.
I couldn't read. The purpose of the said amount is for the construction of Machende Gibson Road in Lulimala Ward. So this instruction to the bank, then on 4.31.
4.31.
4.31, yes. So the payee, front page, construction. The payment voucher is issued on the 20th of August 2024, whilst payment instruction to the bank was issued on 21st August 2024. So just to, is this a standard account practices or not?
Council Secretary, the request and the transfer dates.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. The Honorable the observation by the Honorable is actually very correct. The PVs, when we start the process, the date we have on top, that's the date on which the voucher is actually cut. And then it goes through various offices. It goes through various approvals, including audit, etc. But then comes a time when now the bank, because CDF account is paid by way of instructions to the bank, then that's when the letter is written to effect the payment. So, Chair, I'm looking at, the Honorable made the mention 4.28, 4.28, and when we look at the amounts, you'd see that the date there is 21st August, and then the date when the voucher was commenced, the approval was 20th. So after it underwent everything, that is when and Chair, I must admit at this point and submit that issues to do with CDF, the nature of our terrain is such that when we have inordinate delays in effecting payments, because this particular road is very far from the center, and if funds are not received on time, we've had the trouble of contractors deserting and abandoning the site. So we try our best. We've actually set up our own standard operating procedure that maybe within 24 hours, at most 36, a payment has to be concluded and made payment. So, Chair, you could see the linkage. So that was a date on which the request was made and the voucher cut. And then a day later, we had to make the payment and submit.
Thank you very much. Chitambo Town Council, we want to appreciate your appearance before your committee. We want to encourage you to continue working hard, to continue coordinating in the way you are reporting, in the way you are handling the audit queries. We also want to give you the analysis of your report, that the unapproved project changes shift from the gardening to chicken rearing, farming, village banking to farming without prior evaluation, and spent funds 4.3 and utilized despite allocations attributed to long-term projects and delayed procurement. Low-grade disbursement 776,165 empowerment grants withheld due to beneficiaries' lack of financial literacy training. Administrative over expenditure exceeding administrative budgets by 309,372 without clear justification. Loan defaults 5.3 million in unrecovered loans from 20 defaulters or beneficiaries, undermining the financial sustainability. Key priority areas that you should look at to mitigate these issues. The Council should focus on 1. Strict project compliance, 2. Financial discipline, 3. Beneficiary capacity building, loan recovery mechanisms, procurement efficiency. In conclusion, Chitambo Town Council must prioritize physical responsibilities, beneficiary accountability, and strengthen project oversight. Strengthening these areas will ensure optimal use of CDF resources and foster community development. Thank you very much. I'm sure I've taken those key priorities, the areas that you are supposed to concentrate on. Like I've said, we want to encourage you to continue working very hard as we foster, as you utilize these funds that are given to you. Government is, the first phase of government is the local authority in service delivery. And once you do that, people will either denounce or praise the government through you as the people that are supposed to deliver service to our localities, the people that are supposed to deliver service and goods to the ordinary Zambians. At this point, Council Secretary, allow me now to withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you at the inception of our interaction, and wish you well as you go back to Chitambo. Thank you very much.
Chair, we are most grateful. Thank you so much. As always, we'll carry our water that was given to us. Thank you.
Town Council have just made their submission before the Committee on Local Government Accounts, and they were led by Mr. Mwiche Mudala. As the Committee on Local Government Accounts continues to consider the reports of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2023, and that's the last witness that we had for today. And the day started off with Kabo Municipal Council making an appearance before the Committee on Local Government Accounts, and the council was led by Mr. Joas Ngoma, who's the Kabwe Town Clerk. And after that, we did have Serenja Town Council making an appearance before the committee, and the Serenja Town Council was flanked by Mr. Stan Mwanakayaya, who is the council secretary. So those are the three witnesses that we had today making an appearance before the Committee on Local Government Accounts. Remember, the committee is going to be receiving these submissions up to the 4th of June this year, 2025. And on the 4th of June, actually, we do expect the Secretary to the Cabinet, to the Treasury, beg your pardon, Mr. Felix Kulukusa, to actually appear before the committee and is going to make comments on the Auditor General's findings. So that will be happening on the 4th of June 2025. So from now until then, we continue to bring live submissions regarding the utilization of constituency development funds. We'd like to thank you for your time. From all of us here, it's bye-bye.